Chapter 15. The lot for the tribe of the children of Judah, according to their families, was to the border of Edom, even to the wilderness of Zin southward, at the uttermost part of the south. Their south border was from the uttermost part of the salt sea, from the bay that looked southward, and it went out southward from the ascent of Akarabim, and passed along to Zin, and went up by the south of Kadesh Barnea, and passed along by Hezron, and went up to Adar, and turned about to Karka, and it passed along to Asmon, and went out at the brook of Egypt, and the goings out of the border were at the sea. This shall be your south border. The east border was the salt sea, even to the end of the Jordan. The border of the north quarter was from the bay of the sea at the end of the Jordan, and the border went up to Beth Hoglah, and passed along by the north of Beth Arabah, and the border went up to the stone of Bohan the son of Reuben, and the border went up to Debir, from the valley of Achor, and so northward, looking toward Gilgal, that is over against the ascent of Adumim, which is on the south side of the river. And the border passed along to the waters of En-Shemesh, and the goings out of it were at En-Rogel. And the border went up by the valley of the son of Hinnom, to the side of the Jebusites southward, the same as Jerusalem. And the border went up to the top of the mountain that lies before the valley of Hinnom westward, which is at the uttermost part of the valley of Rephaim northward. And the border extended from the top of the mountain to the spring of the waters of Nephtoah, and went out to the cities of Mount Ephron. And the border extended to Bela, the same as Kiriath Jearim. And the border turned out from Bela westward to Mount Seir, and passed along to the side of Mount Jearim on the north, the same as Chesalon, and went down to Beth-Shemesh, and passed along by Timnah. And the border went out to the side of Ekron northward, and the border extended to Shikaron, and passed along to Mount Bela, and went out at Jabneel, and the goings out of the border were at the sea. The west border was to the great sea, and the border of it. This is the border of the children of Judah round about according to their families. To Caleb the son of Jephunneh he gave a portion among the children of Judah, according to the commandment of the Lord to Joshua, even Kiriath Arba, which Arba was the father of Anak, the same as Hebron. Caleb drove out there the 3 sons of Anak, Sheshai, and Ahiman, and Talmai, the children of Anak. He went up there against the inhabitants of Debir. Now the name of Debir before was Kiriath Sepher. Caleb said, He who strikes Kiriath Sepher and takes it, to him will I give Aksha, my daughter, as wife. Othniel, the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it, and he gave him Aksha his daughter as wife. It happened when she came to him, that she moved him to ask of her father a field. And she alighted from off her donkey, and Caleb said, What do you want? She said, Give me a blessing, for you have set me in the land of the south. Give me also springs of water. He gave her the upper springs and the lower springs. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Judah, according to their families. The uttermost cities of the tribe of the children of Judah toward the border of Edom in the south were Kabzeel and Eder and Jagur, and Kina and Dimona and Adada, and Kedesh, and Hazor and Ithan, and Telim, and Bealoth, Hazor Hadada, Kirioth Hezron, the same as Hazor, Ammon and Shema and Molada, and Hazar Gadah, and Heshmon, and Beth Pelet, and Hazar Shual, and Beersheba, and Biziothia, and Bela, and Aim, and Ezem, and Eltolad, and Chesel, and Hormah, and Ziklag, and Madmana, and Sansana, and Labaoth, and Shilhim, and Ain, and Rimmon. All the cities are 29, with their villages. In the lowlands, Eshtaol, and Zorah, and Ashna, and Zanoah, and Inganim, Tapua, and Enam, Jarmuth, and Adullam, Soka, Azekah, and Sha'araim, and Adithaim, and Gedera, and Gederothaim, 14 cities with their villages. Zenon, and Hadasha, and Migdal-Gad, and Dilian, and Mizpah, and Joktheel, Lachish, and Boscath, and Eglon, and Kavan, and Laman, and Chidlish, and Gederoth, Beth-dagon and Naamah, and Makkedah, 16 cities with their villages. Libnah and Ether and Ashan, and Iftah and Asna and Nazib, and Keilah and Akzib and Maresha, 9 cities with their villages. Ekron with its towns and its villages. From Ekron even to the sea, all that were by the side of Ashdod with their villages. Ashdod its towns and its villages. Gaza its towns and its villages, to the brook of Egypt, and the great sea in the border of it. In the hill country, Shamir and Jatir and Soko, and Dana and Kiriath-Sana, the same is Debir, and Anab, and Eshtemo, and Anim, and Goshen, and Holon, and Gilo, 11 cities with their villages. Arab, and Duma, and Ishan, and Janim, and Beth-Tapua, and Aphekah, and Humta, and Kiriath-Arba, the same is Hebron, and Zior, 9 cities with their villages. Maon, Carmel, and Ziph, and Juttah, and Jezreel, and Jokdeam, and Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah, 10 cities with their villages. Halhul, Besur, and Kedor, and Marath, and Beth-Anon, and Eltekon, 6 cities with their villages. Kiriath-Baal, the same as Kiriath-Jearim, and Rabbah, 2 cities with their villages. In the wilderness, Beth-Araba, Middin, and Sakaka, and Nibshan, and the city of Salt, and En-Gedi, 6 cities with their villages. As for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the children of Judah couldn't drive them out, but the Jebusites dwell with the children of Judah at Jerusalem to this day. Chapter 16. The lot came out for the children of Joseph from the Jordan at Jericho, at the waters of Jericho on the east, even the wilderness, going up from Jericho through the hill country to Bethel. And it went out from Bethel to Luz, and passed along to the border of the Arkites to Ataroth. And it went down westward to the border of the Japhletites, to the border of Beth-Horon the lower, even to Gezer, and the goings out of it were at the sea. The children of Joseph, Manasseh and Ephraim, took their inheritance. The border of the children of Ephraim according to their families was thus. The border of their inheritance eastward was Ataroth Adar, to Beth-Horon the upper. And the border went out westward at Mikmethath, on the north, and the border turned about eastward to Tanath-Shiloh, and passed along it on the east of Janoah. And it went down from Janoah to Ataroth, and to Nara, and reached to Jericho, and went out at the Jordan. From Tappuah the border went along westward to the brook Elkanah, and the goings out of it were at the sea. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Ephraim, according to their families, together with the cities which were set apart for the children of Ephraim in the midst of the inheritance of the children of Manasseh, all the cities with their villages. They didn't drive out the Canaanites who lived in Gezer, but the Canaanites dwell in the midst of Ephraim to this day, and are become servants to do forced labor. Chapter 17. This was the lot for the tribe of Manasseh, for he was the firstborn of Joseph. As for Machir, the firstborn of Manasseh, the father of Gilead, because he was a man of war, therefore he had Gilead and Bashan. So the lot was for the rest of the children of Manasseh, according to their families, for the children of Abiezer, and for the children of Helek, and for the children of Asriel, and for the children of Shechem, and for the children of Hepher, and for the children of Shemida. These were the male children of Manasseh the son of Joseph according to their families. But Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, had no sons, but daughters, and these are the names of his daughters: Mahlah, and Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. They came near before Eleazar the priest, and before Joshua the son of Nun, and before the princes, saying, The Lord commanded Moses to give us an inheritance among our brothers. Therefore, according to the commandment of the Lord, he gave them an inheritance among the brothers of their father. There fell 10 parts to Manasseh, besides the land of Gilead and Bashan, which is beyond the Jordan, because the daughters of Manasseh had an inheritance among his sons. The land of Gilead belonged to the rest of the sons of Manasseh. The border of Manasseh was from Asher to Michmethath, which is before Shechem, and the border went along to the right hand, to the inhabitants in Tappuah. The land of Tappuah belonged to Manasseh, but Tappuah on the border of Manasseh belonged to the children of Ephraim. The border went down to the brook of Cana, southward of the brook. These cities belonged to Ephraim among the cities of Manasseh, and the border of Manasseh was on the north side of the brook, and the goings out of it were at the sea. Southward it was Ephraim's, and northward it was Manasseh's, and the sea was his border. And they reached to Asher on the north, and Issachar on the east. Manasseh had in Issachar, and in Asher Bethshean and its towns, and Ibleam and its towns, and the inhabitants of Dor and its towns, and the inhabitants of Endor and its towns, and the inhabitants of Tanakh and its towns, and the inhabitants of Megiddo and its towns, even the 3 heights. Yet the children of Manasseh couldn't drive out the inhabitants of those cities, but the Canaanites would dwell in that land. It happened, when the children of Israel had grown strong, that they put the Canaanites to forced labor, and didn't utterly drive them out. The children of Joseph spoke to Joshua, saying, Why have you given me but 1 lot and 1 part for an inheritance, seeing I am a great people, because hereto Yahweh has blessed me? Joshua said to them, If you are a great people, go up to the forest, and cut down for yourself there in the land of the Perizzites and of the Rephaim, since the hill country of Ephraim is too narrow for you. The children of Joseph said, The hill country is not enough for us, and all the Canaanites who dwell in the land of the valley have chariots of iron, both they who are in Bethshean and its towns, and they who are in the valley of Jezreel. Joshua spoke to the house of Joseph, even to Ephraim and Manasseh, saying, You are a great people, and have great power. You shall not have 1 lot only, but the hill country shall be yours, for though it is a forest, you shall cut it down, and the goings out of it shall be yours, for you shall drive out the Canaanites, though they have chariots of iron, and though they are strong. Chapter 18. The whole congregation of the children of Israel assembled themselves together at Shiloh, and set up the tent of meeting there, and the land was subdued before them. There remained among the children of Israel 7 tribes, which had not yet divided their inheritance. Joshua said to the children of Israel, How long are you slack to go in to possess the land which the Lord, the God of your fathers, has given you? Appoint for you 3 men of each tribe, and I will send them, and they shall arise and walk through the land, and describe it according to their inheritance, and they shall come to me. They shall divide it into 7 portions. Judah shall abide in his border on the south, and the house of Joseph shall abide in their border on the north. You shall describe the land into 7 portions, and bring the description here to me, and I will cast lots for you here before the Lord our God. For the Levites have no portion among you, for the priesthood of the Lord is their inheritance, and Gad and Reuben, and the half-tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance beyond the Jordan eastward, which Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave them. The men arose and went, and Joshua charged those who went to describe the land, saying, Go, and walk through the land and describe it, and come again to me, and I will cast lots for you here before the Lord in Shiloh. The men went and passed through the land, and described it by cities into 7 portions in a book, and they came to Joshua to the camp at Shiloh. Joshua cast lots for them in Shiloh before the Lord, and there Joshua divided the land to the children of Israel according to their divisions. The lot of the tribe of the children of Benjamin came up according to their families, and the border of their lot went out between the children of Judah and the children of Joseph. Their border on the north quarter was from the Jordan, and the border went up to the side of Jericho on the north, and went up through the hill country westward, and the goings out of it were at the wilderness of Beth-avim. The border passed along from there to Luz, to the side of Luz, the same as Bethel, southward, and the border went down to Ataroth-adar, by the mountain that lies on the south of Beth-horon the lower. The border extended there, and turned about on the west quarter southward, from the mountain that lies before Beth-horon southward, and the goings out of it were at Kiriath-baal, the same as Kiriath-jearim, a city of the children of Judah. This was the west quarter. The south quarter was from the uttermost part of Kiriath-jearim, And the border went out westward, and went out to the spring of the waters of Nephtoah. And the border went down to the uttermost part of the mountain that lies before the valley of the son of Hinnom, which is in the valley of Rephaim northward. And it went down to the valley of Hinnom, to the side of the Jebusites southward, and went down to En-Rogel. And it extended northward, and went out at En-Shemesh, and went out to Gileoth, which is over against the ascent of Adumim, and went down to the stone of Bohan, the son of Reuben. And it passed along to the side over against the Arabah northward, and went down to the Arabah. And the border passed along to the side of Beth-Hoglah northward, and the goings out of the border were at the north bay of the Salt Sea, at the south end of the Jordan. This was the south border. The Jordan was the border of it on the east quarter. This was the inheritance of the children of Benjamin, by the borders of it round about, according to their families. Now the cities of the tribe of the children of Benjamin, according to their families, were Jericho, and Beth-Hoglah, and Emech-Keziz, and Beth-Arabah, and Zimraim, and Bethel, and Avim, and Parah, and Ophrah, and Shephar Ammoni, and Ophni, and Geba, 12 cities with their villages, Gibeon, and Ramah, and Beeroth, and Mizpah, and Shiphrah, and Mosa, and Rechem, and Irpil, and Tarala, and Zelah, Eleph, and the Jebusite, the same as Jerusalem, Gibeath, and Kiriath, 14 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the children of Benjamin, according to their families. He entered and was passing through Jericho. There was a man named Zacchaeus. He was a chief tax collector, and he was rich. He was trying to see who Jesus was, and couldn't because of the crowd, because he was short. He ran on ahead and climbed up into a sycamore tree to see him, for he was to pass that way. When Jesus came to the place, he looked up and saw him, and said to him, "Zacchaeus, hurry and come down, for today I must stay at your house." He hurried, came down, and received him joyfully. When they saw it, they all murmured, saying, "He has gone in to lodge with a man who is a sinner." Zacchaeus stood and said to the Lord, "Behold, Lord, half of my goods I give to the poor. If I have wrongfully exacted anything of anyone, I restore 4 times as much." Jesus said to him, "Today salvation has come to this house, because he also is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek and save that which was lost." As they heard these things, he went on and told a parable, because he was near Jerusalem, and they supposed that the kingdom of God would be revealed immediately. He said, therefore, "A certain nobleman went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return. He called 10 servants of his and gave them 10 minas, and told them, 'Conduct business until I come.' But his citizens hated him, and sent an envoy after him, saying, 'We don't want this man to reign over us.' It happened when he had come back again, having received the kingdom, that he commanded these servants, to whom he had given the money, to be called to him, that he might know what they had gained by conducting business. The first came before him, saying, 'Lord, your mina has made 10 more minas.' He said to him, 'Well done, you good servant. Because you were found faithful in very little, you shall have authority over 10 cities.' The second came, saying, 'Your mina, Lord, has made 5 minas.' So he said to him, 'And you are to be over 5 cities.' Another came, saying, 'Lord, behold your mina, which I kept laid away in a handkerchief. For I feared you, because you are an exacting man. You take up that which you didn't lay down, and reap that which you didn't sow.' He said to him, 'Out of your own mouth will I judge you, you wicked servant. You knew that I am an exacting man, taking up that which I didn't lay down, and reaping that which I didn't sow. Then why didn't you deposit my money in the bank, and at my coming I might have earned interest on it?' He said to those who stood by, 'Take the mina away from him, and give it to him who has the 10 minas. They said to him, 'Lord, he has 10 minas.' For I tell you that to everyone who has will more be given, but from him who doesn't have, even that which he has will be taken away from him. But bring those enemies of mine, who didn't want me to reign over them here, and kill them before me." Having said these things, he went on ahead, going up to Jerusalem. It happened when he drew near to Bethpage and Bethany at the mountain that is called Olivet, he sent 2 of his disciples, saying, "Go your way into the village on the other side, in which, as you enter,
you will find a colt tied whereon no man ever yet sat. Untie it and bring it. If anyone asks you, Why are you untying it? Say to him, The Lord needs it. Those who were sent went away and found things just as he had told them. As they were untying the colt, the owners of it said to them, Why are you untying the colt? They said, The Lord needs it. They brought it to Jesus. They threw their cloaks on the colt and set Jesus on them. As he went, they spread their cloaks in the way. As he was now getting near, at the descent of the Mount of Olives, the whole multitude of the disciples began to rejoice and praise God with a loud voice for all the mighty works which they had seen, saying, Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord, peace in heaven and glory in the highest. Some of the Pharisees from the multitude said to him, Teacher, rebuke your disciples. He answered them, I tell you that if these were silent, the stones would cry out. When he drew near, he saw the city and wept over it, saying, If you, even you, had known today the things which belong to your peace, but now they are hidden from your eyes. For the days will come on you, when your enemies will throw up a barricade against you, surround you, hem you in on every side, and will dash you and your children within you to the ground. They will not leave in you one stone on another, because you didn't know the time of your visitation. He entered into the temple, and began to drive out those who bought and sold in it, saying to them, It is written, My house is a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of robbers. He was teaching daily in the temple, but the chief priests and the scribes and the leading men among the people sought to destroy him. They couldn't find what they might do, for all the people hung on to every word that he said.
Psalm 86, a prayer by David. Hear, Yahweh, and answer me, for I am poor and needy. Preserve my soul, for I am godly. You, my God, save your servant who trusts in you. Be merciful to me, Lord, for I call to you all day long. Bring joy to the soul of your servant, for to you, Lord, do I lift up my soul. For you, Lord, are good and ready to forgive, abundant in loving kindness to all those who call on you. Hear, Yahweh, my prayer. Listen to the voice of my petitions. In the day of my trouble I will call on you, for you will answer me. There is no one like you among the gods, Lord, nor any deeds like your deeds. All nations you have made will come and worship before you. Lord, they shall glorify your name. For you are great and do wondrous things. You are God alone. Teach me your way, Yahweh. I will walk in your truth. Make my heart undivided to fear your name. I will praise you, Lord my God, with my whole heart. I will glorify your name forevermore. For your loving kindness is great toward me. You have delivered my soul from the lowest Sheol. God, the proud have risen up against me. A company of violent men have sought after my soul, and they don't hold regard for you before them. But you, Lord, are a merciful and gracious God, slow to anger, and abundant in loving kindness and truth. Turn to me and have mercy on me. Give your strength to your servant. Save the son of your handmaid. Show me a sign of your goodness, that those who hate me may see it and be put to shame, because you, Yahweh, have helped me and comforted me. Psalm 87, a psalm by the sons of Korah, a song. His foundation is in the holy mountains. Yahweh loves the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Glorious things are spoken about you, city of God. I will record Rahab and Babylon among those who acknowledge me. Behold, Philistia, Tyre, and also Ethiopia. This one was born there. Yes, of Zion it will be said, this one and that one was born in her. The Most High himself will establish her. Yahweh will count when he writes up the peoples. This one was born there. Those who sing as well as those who dance say, all my springs are in you.
The light of the righteous shines brightly, but the lamp of the wicked is snuffed out. Pride only breeds quarrels, but with ones who take advice is wisdom. Wealth gained dishonestly dwindles away, but he who gathers by hand makes it grow.